All right, hi everyone, and welcome to the MacEng Match. Today we're going to be helping one of our very own MacEng students who's looking to get a little bit more involved with a match for an extracurricular activity. My name is Yasmin Albana. I am a third-year electrical and biomedical student here in the iBiomed program, and I'll be your host for today. So I'm going to kick it off with a little bit about Mac, what Mac has to offer in terms of extracurriculars. Specific for engineering, there are over 70 engineering clubs, teams, committees, and conferences, as well as competitions that you can join to enhance your technical or non-technical skills, as well as make new friends along the way. Technical clubs or teams constitute of more hands-on work and projects, and some of these can include the McMaster Solar Car Project, Mac's Formula Electric Team, there's McMaster SumoBot, and even McMaster Makers. Now, on the other hand, non-technical clubs do not involve a lot of engineering technical knowledge. And to name a few, such as being a MacEng student ambassador, which you may interact with a lot of them today at the event, we got the McMaster Engineering Musical, Engineering Without Borders, and as well as Red Suits. Now, there are also societies to help you plan events along the way. Specific for streams, there's the Electrical and Computer Engineering Society that plan events specific for ECE students. We've got the iBiomed Society that plans events for iBiomed students. Now, getting involved in experiential learning opportunities is a valuable way to explore your new interest. So without further ado, I'm going to call on our first contestant for today to come up and introduce themselves.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can hear you, but I don't see you.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but I'm trying to get it sorted out really quickly. Okay, I'm not quite sure what's going on with my camera, but I'll start with my introduction and hopefully it comes back in a second. So, hi everybody, my name is Justin Schran. I'm in my second year of chemical and bioengineering, and I'm looking to find my MacEng match. So hopefully Yasmin, Ishan, and Ashley will be able to find me a club. I was a learning resource assistant over the summer for Ember. So if you don't know what Ember is a 3-week optional program for incoming first years where you can attend live tutorial sessions run by LRAs like myself, and we go over concepts in math, chemistry, physics, and computing. So we give you that review work and we give you those review modules right before you go into first year so that you're feeling ready and ready to go.
Perfect, thank you. It seems like you're kind of already involved, but it's never too late to get more involved. So let's get right to it, and I'm going to ask our first representative to talk about their club involvement.
Hey Justin, so my name's Ashley and I'm in my third year of the Chemical Engineering and Society program here at Mac. I've been a part of the MacEng musical as a crew member. I've played some intramural sports each semester, participated in some great mentorship programs, participated in a hackathon, which was really cool, and am a member of the Engineering and Society Students Association.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, Ashley. All those clubs sound really interesting. Can you tell me more about the hackathons? I feel like those are great ways to really practice my coding skills and also have some fun.
Yeah, they really are. So hackathons are great events you can sign up for. Mainly they're sort of design competitions, which can focus on things like coding, 3D modeling, or other forms of design. And they usually happen over a weekend, 1 to 3 days-ish. They include amazing workshops, some amazing free swag, and other events. And you get to collaborate with people potentially from all across the world, which is really cool. I had a great experience with the Hack the North hackathon where I was able to learn a new coding language in 36 hours and work with my team to create an online platform. So that was amazing.
That sounds like so much fun. Are you still in contact with the people you meet there? Do you think those are connections that you make that will last a while?
Yeah, there's a lot of the programs have different like mentorship opportunities. So you can talk to other students who've already participated in a hackathon, and they can help you out with different coding languages or different design ideas. So they're really great ways to meet lots of people who are really great at different things. So yeah.
That sounds so much fun. I also heard that you were in the musical, right? I think that's really
Yes.
great, especially for me coming out of high school. I was very interested in the arts. So can you tell me about that? Did you find it like easy to balance having that art side and then the engineering side? And what role did you have in that musical?
Yeah. So there are 4 main groups on musical. There's the cast, who are amazing performers. We have the band, who compose all of the songs. We have the crew, and we have the writing crew. So I was a member of the crew. So the crew doesn't meet in the fall. Only the band, the cast, and the writing crew meet in the fall. But in the winter, every weekend, I would go and paint and create some amazing cardboard props for the musical, which was super fun. And it was actually just a great way to sort of relieve stress and take my mind off some of my course content. So it was really easy for me to balance with the crew, and I'm really hoping that next year I can be a part of the cast, because I think that would be a really great, fun opportunity, and you get to meet some amazing people.
Definitely. I definitely enjoyed being in a musical in high school, so I can see why this would be such a great bonding opportunity. And I think my final question for you, I think you mentioned intramurals. How was playing intramurals at Mac?
Intramurals at Mac are amazing. In my first year, I participated in volleyball intramurals in both the winter and fall semesters. And right now I'm actually doing volleyball intramurals again, and we have 3 straight wins. So we're hoping that we get to do the playoffs. There's so many different amazing intramural sports in both the winter and fall semesters, indoors and outdoors. So you definitely have to check out the McMaster Intramural website to check out all of the different intramurals. There's so many I can't even count. So they're a really great opportunity to get active and take your mind off of school for a couple hours.
I agree. And I think it's really good to have a bit of activity to balance out a long school workload day.
Definitely.
Thanks so much, Ashley, for answering those questions.
No worries.
Thank you, Ashley. And so, Justin, you've learned a little bit about some of the things, but we still have a few more up our sleeves. So I'm going to go ahead and welcome our next representative to talk about their club involvement.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're all having a great Saturday and are really excited at the prospect of joining some of these clubs. My name is Ishan. My pronouns are he and him, and I'm in my 3rd year of mechatronics and biomedical engineering. I'm involved with a bunch of clubs. Most notably, I'm involved with the Mars Rover team, the Mathstronauts Club, which I'm vice president for, and the Red Suits. Those are all involvements that I've been a part of recently, and I'm happy to answer any questions on that or other things. I know Ashley has already talked about intramurals, and I'm a part of that too, or anything else from the engineering technical team side that you might be interested in.
Awesome. Thanks for introducing that, Ishan. So I think you mentioned Red Suits. That sounds like a ton of fun. Can you go over maybe what the application looks like for a Red Suit? I know it's a quick bit of a long application, but maybe you could sum it up. And also, what do Red Suits do?
That's a great question. I'll start with what Red Suits do. And so every year we have over 1,000 students coming into their first year at McMaster Engineering. And it is our job to help them find a place that they can call their home. So we start off by meeting all of these first years, hosting events for them, letting them meet individuals from their faculties. So students who maybe wanted to sign up for the BTech program can come and meet other BTech students. Students who are in Eng 1 or iBiomed can meet students within those respective cohorts, or just make new friends, whether they be within engineering or outside of engineering. And so as a Red Suit, we're there to help lead the events, as well as instill some of that Mac Eng spirit, that community and that bond that an upper year can have with a first year. I actually have my Red Suit here. And when we say Red Suits, we literally mean a red suit. This is a jumpsuit that we get to wear around all week, and they're literally red, and we can decorate it with aspects of our program and things that are important to us. So I have a little McMaster Engineering patch there, and a bunch of other little cool touches. And so throughout Welcome Week, which happens during that first week of September, you can go around and interact with all these first years. Now, to apply, they require a group tryout, an individual application, and an interview. And for the group tryout, which is one of the most notable aspects of the application, you get together with a group of 5, and you have to make a 5-minute creative piece just to show off who you are and what you might have up your sleeve. And so you can do anything from interpretive dance to a random PowerPoint presentation to writing a song, you name it. It's just a chance for you to meet other people and show off your creative side to the committee.
Awesome. Thanks. So make sure to look out for the red suits when you're at MAC during Welcome Week. And what's great about having a red jumper suit is that they stand out in a crowd, definitely.
You can see us from halfway across campus when we have those things on.
Definitely. And there's so many of them. I don't think like you can walk down the engineering building without running into one red suit during Welcome Week.
And it's also a really fulfilling experience because you get to connect with all these first years that are coming in. You might find someone that has similar interests as you or is going through similar challenges that you might have faced. And just to be able to help out and know that you're able to impact these first years and make them feel at home is a really rewarding experience.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I felt the exact same being an LRA for Amber. It was a great experience being able to help first years when they're coming into university for the first time. Okay, so you also mentioned you were in the Mars Rover team. So now that we've talked with Ashley about the artistic sides that I can get into, can you tell me a little bit about what the responsibilities are when you're involved with Mars Rover?
With Mars Rover, so that's one of our technical teams that we have to offer. It's similar to our Baja Racing team, our Formula Electric team, Concrete Toboggan. It's another team that lets you work on applying your engineering education. And so the ultimate goal of the Mars Rover team is to build a fully functioning robot that acts like a rover and is able to navigate the conditions similar to what a Mars rover would engage with on Mars. The ultimate goal for this team is to produce a robot that we can take to competitions. So there's competitions in Alberta, Utah, and I believe one in Ontario as well. And so we're building this to actually compete with other universities. I believe Western has a team, UBC has a team, there are teams in Quebec, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of different teams you can interact with at these competitions. But from scratch, we've had to develop all aspects of this robot. The software, the actual construction, the wiring, the parts that needed to be sourced, and any custom boards. And so there's a lot of responsibilities that an individual can have.
Awesome. So I'm guessing with this many different responsibilities, do you get split up into sub-teams maybe during Mars Rover?
Yeah. Absolutely. And there's a lot of clubs that employ this strategy. So any of the technical clubs might have different sub-teams that allow you to really focus on what you're interested in. For example, I'm involved with a software team, and I actually brought some of my equipment as well to kind of show what I'm working with. So this drive here is the main computer on our rover, and I currently have it in order to program and test some of my code. And then I also have a little chip here that's responsible for controlling the wheels themselves. And so on my technical team, the software team, I get all this hardware and I'm able to work on programming it directly. There's also sub-teams such as the electrical sub-team. So if you're interested in PCB design or actually creating elements that you get to wire up and mass produce, or just wiring up the chassis in general, that'd be a cool sub-team for you to get involved with. If you're interested in building things and using CAD software, the mechanical team is a great opportunity to practice that. And you're able to design a chassis with dimension restrictions, weight restrictions, and also keeping in mind where all this software and hardware elements fit in. And then I believe the final team is the science team. Our rover is responsible for doing several scientific tasks during our competitions, such as taking soil samples and calculating certain aspects of that soil, such as, for example, water content or soil material. And so the science team is responsible for building the sensors and the machinery that is required to perform these specific tasks. So no matter what you're interested in, there is a sub-team that allows you to practice what you want to do without perhaps engaging in something that maybe you're not as interested in.
That sounds like a great option if you don't want to do software but would rather focus on mechanical. So I think that's a great option. One last question about Mars rover. So do you need experience to apply, or do you think everyone is encouraged to apply?
Fantastic question. You do not need any experience to apply. However, there are limited spots on a lot of these technical teams. So having a bit of experience can help when you do submit a resume. However, I strongly encourage that you do apply regardless of whether you have experience or not, because it's a great chance to at least learn what's required of you. And if you do get in, it's a really rewarding experience that complements your education.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ishan. There's quite a list for me to choose from now, but I think I still need to hear from Yasmin.
Yep. Thank you, Ishan. I think I want to add something. I remember when I was in first year, and it was still in person around exam season, the red suits would also help guide you to the exam rooms, because a lot of times people didn't know where you wrote your exam. And so they'd walk. And I also got some snacks. You guys were giving out crackers my year, which was really, really nice of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. So yes, you have heard a little bit from everyone, but I'm going to make your decision a little bit harder and share what I've been involved in at Mac. So I'm currently the vice president of the McMaster Society for Engineering Research. And as a society, we aim to connect undergraduate students with grad students as well as professors to help people kind of start in the world of research if they're interested. We also like to raise awareness about the different ways that you can get involved in research at McMaster, because there is no exactly one way. There's multiple ways. And we also host year-long events as well. We have a summer research programming for anyone who does research in the summer. So they go through like a 16-week event programming, and then different workshops, different events for you to get to know other researchers who are doing research at McMaster and so on. Another technical club that I'm part of is McMaster Makers. And we basically aim to run project-led workshops that teach students different technical skills.
Awesome. Thanks for introducing that, Yasmin. Okay. I heard that you were the vice president of MacSur. Can you tell me if there's any upcoming events that can teach us more about research? Because that's definitely something I'm interested in.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad you asked. We actually have an event next week, next Wednesday, and it's our annual Engineering Research and Entrepreneurship Fair. And basically, it's also going to be held on Hopin, and different research groups will have different booths in which you can go and interact with. And if the profs are looking to hire, you can ask if they have any opportunities available in their lab, talk a little bit about their research, get to know them. They can get to know you. They can put a face to a name so that later on, if you email them, they can absolutely remember, oh, this person came to the fair and they seemed really, really interested and really genuine about their passion towards this research area. As well, the MacSur Society will be there, will help you if you have any more questions. There are startups also going to be there, and you can also ask them if they have opportunities to hire in terms of research and development as well.
Okay, awesome. Where can I register for that fair?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go to Oscar Plus, which is a platform that McMaster uses for co-op jobs as well as experiential events. You can go on there, and under the calendar, if you look on November 24, you'll see there is the Entrepreneurship Fair. You could go on there and click register. It will take you to the Hopin page, and from there you just get a ticket based on if you are currently an engineering student, or if you're like a first year, or if you're just visiting.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
You also talked about McMaster Makers. I think that's a really great opportunity to practice those design skills, and then you can show them off to co-ops later. So what's your role specifically on McMaster Makers?
Yep. So just like Ishan mentioned with Mars rover, we actually have a few sub-teams, and I'm specifically on the project development team. So we develop the back end of all the workshops. I've had the opportunity to work on several ones. One where we talked about OpenCV. So that's a specific package in Python. I've never used it before, but being the project dev, you have to learn it in and out so that you're able to teach it. So that was a really, really good opportunity for me to learn a new language. we ran a workshop that helps students write their very own portfolio website. So again, I didn't have any experience with HTML or CSS, but I went and learned it so that we can do this workshop. And again, it kind of pushes you to learn new things that you didn't think you'd enjoy or you didn't think you actually had time for. Because a lot of times, and I'm sure a lot of engineering students feel this way, and that is, you want to do or you want to learn something new and you sit and you tell yourself, oh, I don't have time to do that. But for me, I've used my extracurriculars to kind of as a way for me to go ahead and kind of put that time into learning new skills and my new interests.
That sounds great. I definitely agree that clubs are a way to not let school take over all of your time so that you still have some time to do what you enjoy.
Absolutely.
Okay. There are so many clubs that I can get involved with, but if I had to choose a couple groups that really stood out to me, I would be picking Maxer, Mars Rover, and Red Suits. How do I apply to these groups? How do I join these groups? Who should I reach out to?
It's a very good question, Justin. There are a lot of ways that you can go ahead and actually reach out to these groups. One of the main ways is finding their social medias. So a lot of these groups, such as Maxer or Mars Rover, have an Instagram page, a Facebook page, and what you can do is you can go there and you can DM whoever the account owner is, or just look out for any events that they post. And through there, you can get more information about the application cycles, about some events that they're hosting, or some of their progress. You can also, if they do host events, go and attend those events, right? If they're hosting a recruiting event, you're able to go ask questions to people on the team, and they might give you some tips for your application or also just get you hyped up for a possible role on the team. Another good way is to reach out and see if they're looking for exec positions. Being involved as an exec doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing a lot of work. It just means that you're doing more of the administrative work. So if you're in charge of more of the financials or the social media or the outreach, being an exec on a club or a team is a great way to continue on with that club's journey, whereas you're not necessarily getting involved with some of the main aspects of that club's intent. So if you're interested in just getting some leadership experience, being an exec is a great way to get involved as well.
Okay, awesome. I'll definitely take a look at my Instagram and look for them. Okay, so now that I know how to apply, is there anything else I need to know?
Just remember that clubs and teams are an amazing way to get involved and meet new people. And they also look really great on resumes for future job applications, since there are so many soft and technical skills that you can learn, which can transfer into future jobs. So they're a really great way to get involved and show that you're able to time manage both your school and outside of school activities.
Well, thank you to all our representatives, and thank you, Justin, for coming on today and helping us find you a match. Hopefully you're going to act, and I will probably see an email from you for Maxer sometime, hopefully in the future. Mm-hmm. And I do see a few people want to join the moderation panel, so I'm just going to add you guys really quickly. And if anyone else who's not comfortable joining the panel wants to drop their questions in the chat, feel free to do so. We'll try to address them as we go along. I've also dropped a link to the clubs and groups teams website, and on there you'll see all the different clubs and teams are available at MacEng, and they're also divided in subcategories, so you can see technical if you're interested in developing more technical skills. There are non-technical things. If you're interested in competitions, there's also a little tab for that and things like that. I did click plus on the moderation panel, but I don't see people show up.
If you haven't already, do check out the polls page, and you can vote on some of the technical teams you find interesting or the non-technical clubs that are also around. And if there's one that gets a lot of votes, we can chat about it as well. Or it's just a chance for you to learn of some new clubs that maybe we didn't mention explicitly in the past 25 minutes. I noticed there are a lot of votes for women in engineering. Do any of you want to chat about that?
I'm not involved in it. Maybe Ashley?
Yeah, I can. I was involved, I not directly, not as like an exact number or anything, but in my first year, I participated in a lot of different women in engineering events just so that I could meet some other females in the program and hopefully make some new friends, which I did. They have some amazing events throughout the year for just getting to know each other. They also have a great mentorship program. So I'm a mentor for a couple younger first year engineering students through the program, which is really great because then you get to connect with some older students and get some advice and a friend when you need it. They have great business and sort of technical workshops as well so that you can improve your coding skills or your 3D modeling skills. So I helped out with a 3D modeling workshop actually in my first year, which was really great way to help some elementary school students learn how to 3D model, which is really great. They have just amazing workshops and events. And it is a great way to get involved and to meet anyone who identifies as female in the Faculty of Engineering. And anyone who identifies as a female can be a part of this society. It's not something you have to sign up for. You can just go to any of their events that you want, follow them on social media, things like that.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I'll give you guys a few more minutes. So we have until 11:15 for the session. So if you have any last minute questions, again, feel free to drop them in the chat. I don't know what happened to the two people that were trying to join the panel because I did click plus. I hope I didn't accidentally reject, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. But please forgive me if I did.
You can also list something that you found cool in the chat. You don't have to ask us a question, but just let us know. Is there anything you found really interesting? Something that you might take away from this? I really liked when Ashley mentioned intramurals because that's a really rewarding experience as well. It's a great chance to get engaged with some of your peers in something more active, especially when if you're busy with school, you might not be able to find that time otherwise.
Yeah, and a lot of different, like I think through the McMaster Engineering Society, they occasionally have specifically just like teams that are just engineers or people in the Faculty of Engineering. So you can definitely look to like sign up for those things with people in engineering programs, which is a great way to meet new people and also get active and stay mentally and physically healthy.
In fact, the McMaster Engineering Society will pay your intramural costs if your team is all engineering.
Yeah, so that's a really great way to get involved.
And if you don't have a team, that's also fine. You can sign up as a free agent, and if any team is looking for players, they'll be happy to bring you on.
Yeah.
I'm sold. I'm gonna go on the website right now and try to look for a volleyball.
Join our water polo team
right now. Ooh, water polo, that's crazy.
Not trying to drown, I don't swim, but I'll definitely check out volleyball. I feel like I'm too short for basketball, so volleyball is my thing.
Yeah, but the great thing about like the intramurals is that they have so many different leagues. So they have like play fun, play competition, and they have open, co-rec, women's, and men's. So there's lots of different levels of difficulty and mixes of people that you can play with. And I think there is also inner tube water polo. So that's pretty cool, especially, and then you'll probably be less likely to drown with that because inner tubes are helpful.
That's good to know.
That's actually the league that I'm in, the inner tube one. So you just sit in a tube and you just float around and kick yourself over to the net as best as you can.
Well, that's good for non-swimmers out there. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Thank you. Thank you everyone for showing up today and listening to Justin kind of pick his go-to involvement clubs that he wants to check out a little bit more. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Again, there's a website that I put in there if you want to check that out. But I am aware we're now at 11:15, so I don't want to take up more of your time. If you want to interact outside of this event, I can drop my LinkedIn, which is a great way for you to interact with future or existing students that go to McMaster and you want to ask them anything. So I'll drop my LinkedIn in a bit. But other than that, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I hope you stay behind and check out the rest of the MacEng events happening throughout the day today.